Hey guys, back with episode 2 of the web series. We're really excited to share some more of our story with you again. Today, we're going to be speaking a little bit about what's happening with COVID in energy, as well as introducing a few of our latest team members. So, to start with, I'd just love to pass it over to Adam, who's going to tell you a little bit about what we're seeing with the recent developing COVID scenario and what the implications are with that in energy. So, Adam, go ahead.
Thanks, Alex. Hey, everyone. I'm here in the Batcave. This is my virtual background for today because we've been isolating since the beginning of March as RedGrid. So we've been in a distributed team since that time. So we took this really seriously. We've got a small team, so we had to be really make sure that we're all safe and sound and able to carry on our work. So we've been remote like this for a long time. So we're working our virtual background. So this actually feels like we're in the Batcave a little bit, in here, getting really into things secretly hidden away. And that's to do with our product development, but we'll talk more about that with Harri and Angelica later. But yeah, the COVID situation, wow. I mean, it is, no one obviously foresaw this coming at all. And in the energy industry, it's had some pretty serious implications and it is having, and it will have in the future. And I guess a couple of those things that we're seeing out there in the market is that overall, our use of energy has dramatically decreased as a country in Australia and across the world. And that's decreased because economic productivity has gone down because people are not out buying goods and services and products that they were beforehand. So we've seen the total amount of energy production go down, and the wholesale cost of energy going down as well. Now, what that means is we're using less energy, and we've seen emissions reductions as a result of that. We saw that in China. But that is not likely to last forever. You know, when we get back to sort of ramping the economy back up, ramping through productivity, that we saw in China, a 25% drop in energy over Chinese New Year, and it stayed that way. That's not going to continue as economics pick back up again. So we're going to see the energy demand go back up. We're going to see emissions go back up. But what we're seeing as a fundamental shift here is that people, obviously, a lot of people are working from home or working less or going into the office less. And so there's a shift in where energy is being used. And so we're seeing a shift in who is paying for that energy. And so what this means is, with everyone working from home and they're heating on, they're lighting on, their computers on, we're going to see more people paying more for their own electricity bills than they would normally, because normally they're going to their office, and their office or their place of work will be paying for those bills. Now, it doesn't count for everyone, of course, because lots of people are still having to get out there and work and face the front of this. But for a lot of people who are starting working from home, teachers and other people in the workforce, we're going to start to see bill shock coming in the middle of this winter. And what that means is that we don't know, most people have no idea what they're spending on electricity every day. It's very hard to tell. And what it means is when we get into sort of June, when the bill comes around for this quarter, suddenly we're going to see some really nasty figures from retailers, and suddenly a lot of money that we have to pay for our electricity bills for lots of people. And that's going to be a challenge. In fact, some of the people we're talking to in the industry are really worried about this. Some of the retailers, some of the utilities and other players there, because they understand that it won't be everyone who can afford to pay those bills. And this is a real challenge, right? Because people will suddenly be hit with this massive problem, and we already have a problem that about 13% of people are on the cusp of energy poverty in Australia, and on the cusp of moving down into that downward spiral where they can't pay a bill. So this is a major issue. Now we have to solve this problem. It is absolutely unfair that people have no idea what they're paying for their bills, have no idea how much energy they're using, and have no idea what that massive bill is going to be when it comes in a few months' time. We have to shift that. We need more data on what they're spending on their energy. We need to help people reduce the amount of energy that they're using so that they can save those bills. We do not want to be spending all that money on energy. So obviously, that's what we're doing at RedGrid, trying to help as many people as possible deal with this. In fact, we have been talking to potential partners around a response for COVID so that we can help people start to address this issue so they don't have that bill shock. We've been talking to some partners around how we can deliver that. And I think the key bit here is that this is the next normal. Like, this is going to happen more. We cannot just stick our heads in the sand and just think, oh, it's going to be totally fine in the future. We'll go back to normal. It will be as it was before. That's not going to be the case. People will be working from home more, so we have to work out how to make that a more equitable split of who is paying for electricity at what times. And for example, in the summer, when people are at home and they're cranking their air conditioning all day long, what does that look like for their bills then? We have to help with that too. And so a couple of things we're doing at this on the back end, obviously working with our optimization technology to help people reduce the amount of their energy they're using and give the visibility on what energy they're using, but also helping people to donate that energy value between people. Some people have more energy, some people who've got solar, for example, to donate that to people who don't have it. And so we're working through all of that. The products are in train, in development, and will be coming out. So we're excited to sort of dive into that as we come out of this and really see what a new, really positive, beautiful energy future looks like. I think there's some final bits that we've been seeing in the market is that the combination of people's work livelihoods changing, the challenges with the economic downturn, the challenges with people just really trying to struggle to pay their rent and trying to struggle to pay their energy bills means we have to look really seriously as companies who are working for a better future to see how we can bring different players in this ecosystem together. How can we help bridge finance, bridge energy, bridge all the different utilities that people are paying so that people have a better understanding of where the money is going, to make that money go further and to help them really harness the best of what we can for a clean energy future. The final bit of this is some old colleagues of mine published at the beginning of May from Oxford University what the world looks like after COVID for green stimulus. And what's really interesting right now is all the government's chucking loads of money in to help people deal with COVID. What happens when COVID is kind of like the big peak is gone and we're kind of getting back to that next normal? What is the kind of stimulus package that we need to see? And my colleagues interviewed, they interviewed 260 odd experts around the world. They went through 700 different stimulus packages that are happening around the world. And they absolutely found across them that on average, the plans that included green infrastructure, clean energy, more renewable energy throughout the grid, more optimization and clean technology like we're doing, and more sustainable development policies had the best economic outcomes for those countries. So I'll say that again. Coming out of COVID, they analyzed this. They said that they found that if you had green stimulus plans, you created the best economic outcomes. That is fundamental. These guys are the best experts in the world looking at this. We have to listen to that. That is what we need to come out of COVID, because climate change is not going away because of COVID. So we have to really understand that. And I thought that was an amazing piece of work. Just wanted to leave that with you guys because we're super pumped about it. We're super excited about seeing that as a change, that despite all these terrible things that are happening in COVID right now, this is the opportunity to change and actually give ourselves more freedom and more flexibility and a better economic future. So that's what I have to throw into the mix from the Batcave.
Yeah, thank you for that. Thank you for that detailed overview, Adam. That was awesome. And what an inspiring note to end on, to hear that green tech is really going to be what gets us out of this, not just environmentally, but economically.
It totally is. They're like this. There's this. Walid Ali talked about this when I did that stuff for the project a few weeks ago. His series on this was really good. He talks about this false binary between economic development, economic progress, and environmental protection. It doesn't exist. You can have both. So that's what we really need.
Brilliant. And so for us, a key part of getting there is ramping up our product development and really accelerating that to get this technology out to people to really help accelerate that clean energy future. And so with that, I think this is a great point in the chat to go into speaking to Harri. So Harri is leading our product development at RedGrid and managing that rollout. And so Harri, just to start, would you be able to tell us a little bit about yourself and your role at RedGrid?
Yeah, so I've been with RedGrid for about 2 months now, and it's been a really exciting journey. My kind of role at the minute is rolling out our testing for our users. So we've got this fantastic software that we want to refine both the user experience and the technology to build the solution that we're going towards. So my kind of role is managing that whole process and making sure it's a smooth transition for all our pioneers that are a part of us on this journey. And yeah, that's kind of what I'm doing at the minute.
Awesome. And something I learned about you recently was you have had a really cool adventure around Australia and you're making a documentary about it. Do you want to tell us a little bit about that?
Yeah, so About a year or two ago, I hitchhiked from Melbourne to Cairns. I had a bit of time off, so and I'd recently been thinking about the hitchhiking culture in Australia and how it's changed in the last 30 years. I had so many stories from my family or uncles and whatsoever that used to hitchhike back in the day, and I wanted to try it out and see what the population's reaction to hitchhiking was. So yeah, I spent about 2 weeks. I hitchhiked from Melbourne to Cairns. I had about 40 different drivers, I guess you call them, and yeah, learned so much about people and their perspective on hitchhiking, and I documented the whole thing. And I'm making we nearly finished the documentary at the minute, and that will be released soon. So yeah, it's really insightful, and it's something that's it's a topic that like is quite strange to millennials and our kind of generation who have never hitchhiked before. But I'm keen to kind of show people what it's all about and what it used to be.
That's really cool, because I have to say I kind of had the same sort of visceral reaction that some other people might have, which was, oh, hitchhiking, like, I don't know, that sounds pretty sketchy, not maybe a little bit dangerous. And so I'm interested to see how you kind of like reshape the perspective on that, which would be really cool.
That's the exact reaction to everyone, that it's dangerous, and that's what I wanted to prove, that it's not dangerous at all. It's purely just helping a fellow stranger, asking a fellow stranger to help you out. So yeah, I hope I can kind of influence a few people to do the same.
Awesome. Thanks, Harri. And now I'd love to spotlight a little bit about what Angelica's been doing. So Angelica's been helping me a lot with the marketing. And so Angelica, could you tell us a little bit about your role at RedGrid?
Yep. Hey, everyone. Yep, so I'm Angelica. So I've been with RedGrid for a few months now, since the start of the year, and kind of got involved through Monash, and I met Sim, one of the other members of the team, and I wanted to get some industry experience because I'm studying environmental engineering, and especially just wanted to get involved with renewable energy and how I could use my passion for sustainability to do something really important and change the world in a way. So got involved with RedGrid and learned about all about what they were about, and I really loved it. And I think I originally wanted to learn more things, so I got involved with the social media side of everything and communications. So have been working with Alex to kind of get the social medias on all organized and everything, and especially organizing this web series as well, so you guys can get to know more about us and where we're at and where we want to go as well. And have also been working with Harri and supporting him with the rollout of all the new technology so that you guys can get your hands on what we've been working on. So yes, that's what I've been doing with RedGrid.
Fantastic, Angelica. Thank you for that. Yeah, and so something that was really cool about you that I think everyone on the team really resonated with was your work with the Borrow Cup initiative at Monash. Do you want to tell us a little bit about that?
Yeah, so something else I've been doing with Monash Uni is working with the Borrow Cup team. So essentially, it's a sustainability team at Monash, and they offer free reusable cups for students on campus to borrow, and any other teachers or people who visit the campus. And it's tackling a sustainability problem in the same way that RedGrid is. But the sustainability problem is of plastic cups and how they're not recyclable. And so people think that they're doing the right thing by recycling them, but actually creating a lot of waste and ruining the recycling system and all that. So in this way, it's making sustainability accessible for everyone. So even if you forget your reusable cup or something, you can still ask at the cafes that are involved, and you ask for your Borrow Cup, and then you can return it in the special bins that are all around campus. And then we'll wash them in commercial dishwashers at the end. So it's just kind of making sustainability accessible to everyone, and so that we're still achieving what we want to achieve on campus.
Awesome. Yeah, and I think that, like that, as I said, that really resonated with us, because that was like a completely unique but like easy way to make sustainability accessible to people in their everyday lives, in their getting their coffee. So thank you to Adam, Angelica, and Harri for joining us today. We're really excited to continue to share this message with all of you who are following us, and we'd love to hear from you. So if you have any questions or want to get in touch with us, please reach out, comment, tweet at us, DM us, and we'll see you in 2 weeks. Thanks, guys.
Thanks so much. See you later.
Thanks, guys. Thank you.
See ya.